Welcome to a new test and teardown video. This time it's a Hewlett Packard Tracking generator. The 8444A with an option 59. So this means it's a high accuracy all the way to 1500 megahertz. And it is of course to be used together with the HP spectrum analyzers. I don't have a spectrum analyzer for this one at the moment, but we can probably just test this using external generator and other kind of stuff. As we see here, we got different inputs. First, local oscillator input, and there is also a connector on the back for that one, because there is a 500 megahertz internal locked oscillator. So this one is the one that we need to use. So this one is the one that you connect to your spectrum analyzer, and it provides a 2 to 3 gigahertz sweep, and then it mixes this together with an internal 2 gigahertz, and then the output is from almost 0 to 1500. So that is the idea. And then we'll of course get this output here, where we have a little level to adjust this output. And I don't know exactly what this track means. There's probably a fine adjustment of this locking oscillator. But it also says manual scan. How is that working? So that means maybe we can get something out without putting something in. But anyway, I definitely need to open and inspect anyway, so we can see what is inside and how this one is built. So here at the back, we can see it is correctly configured for Europe voltage. So thank you very much for that. And there is an voltage input-output kind of feature. That is funny, because I would imagine this one should be powered from your spectrum analyzers on-off. So here is this 500 megahertz local oscillator output, and it goes of course into the third LO input. And there's an auxiliary output at the front and back as well. So maybe there's a splitter, so they just put in a load on this one. Let's look a little bit inside. And it's just so beautiful. Look at this build. Everything is just lined up. So nice. So let's just try and follow the signal. Here is the input. Yes, here we go. Input. And here's a little input isolator, and then a filter, and it even says here 2 to 3.4 gigahertz bandpass filter, and then it goes into another isolator, and it's because this filter, this is a stepped impedance filter inside here, and it really likes to have a correct impedance input and output. In this way the filter works really good. And then we go to a local oscillator, and this is the output that goes to a detector and amplifier that handles the output. And here is our output, our main output that goes to the front, but there's also another output that goes to the output at the back. So that was the fast signal path from the input to the output. But of course something else happens. Here is this, our own input to this oscillator. So we can just follow this from the back. So again, a nice little isolator. And here is a modulator oscillator driver and a first converter that takes RF output here. So you have another input and a 500 megahertz amplifier, but I think this is not an input. I think this is an output. Look, they're coupled together, right? Input or output, it depends on if you're using this jumper here, right? So let's follow that signal again. Here is a 500 megahertz oscillator. This is this option we have. So this 500 megahertz goes, of course, out and in again. And now you have a 500 megahertz fixed oscillator. And it's just a little amplifier. And then it goes in here. So this 500 is the offset from our own oscillator. So here is a 1.55 gigahertz oscillator. And again, another little isolator. And there you have it. First converter, and then you go in here, and then you have your output. I don't think there's anything on the back really, but of course we need to have a little look at the back and see what is there. We just got some power supply boards, and look at that, two 3055s, and they're from 1988, and they don't really look like they have been changed. So I think this is the age of this unit. Here at the back, exactly as I imagined. We don't find a lot of components here, just a little bit of interconnect for the power supplies, the transistors and the capacitors. That is more or less all that is going on here, and of course some power supply cables to the rest of the modules. And here is, of course, this amplifier detector unit. Another special Hewlett Packard module. Nice gold plated. Oh, by the way, this is a classic problem with exactly this type of on-off switch. See? Okay, here we go. It's actually, and then it don't stay in. Yeah, now it works again. So we need to see if we can get in here somewhere and somehow, and maybe we can give it a little drop of contact spray. Of course, I had to go and pick up a little bit of equipment. So first, let's just see if there's anything out of it before I plug in any kind of local oscillators. So here goes all or nothing. It's only using 12 watts. And of course, we don't see anything at all. I'm doing a full sweep here, so I'm looking at 3 gigahertz or something like that. So this one can only do 1.5 gigahertz. So anything that it should output should be from here, the middle and down. All right, so let's see if there is anything going on. I need the 500 megahertz, right? So if I look at here, yeah, here we go. So we got 500 peak. So it's 499.2, and I just turned it on. All right, so far so good. And yes, it actually works. So here's what I do. I input 2.1 gigahertz into the first LO input. So that is, of course, normally the sweep output from the spectrum analyzer. I'm just simulating this. So this one now gives me a 48 megahertz carrier. So this is where my spectrum analyzer would be listening if I'm using a big hefty HP spectrum analyzer, obviously. So what happens, now we remember this peak frequency 48. So let's go up exactly one more 100. Okay, so this is 2.1. Let's go to 2.2. And here is 2.2 input. And this gives me 148 megahertz output, exactly 100 more. This means, of course, if I give 1 more gigahertz, right? My output is now 1.048. Why is this always out of focus? So here is my 1 GHz output for a 3 GHz input. So it should be able to give me 1.5. So let's try and see if that is possible. Oh, maybe I have a problem with this one. I don't think it can go that much higher. Let's try a little bit, see what it can do. It can only do 3.2 of this one. So this gives me a 1.1 for 8 GHz output. So I actually think this fantastic, good old tracking generator works. And that was more or less all I wanted to see if it's working. Let's play a little bit with the level here. Yes, okay, so I can find it just the level, and it can give me quite a lot of output, by the way. I have an attenuator here for 2 reasons. Both for static discharge and over voltages and all sorts of nasty things when I poke around with things, and overdrive protection of my spectrum analyzer, because it is a little bit annoying to change the repair the spectrum analyzer. I did of course blow it up once, and this is why. I also made a nice little video explaining exactly how to repair it, so you can of course see this for a little entertainment. And yeah, so this was the level. And what exactly is this track just doing? Maybe it can move. Oh yeah, look at that. It is a fine tune of the frequency. It is difficult to see. Well, let me tune it all the way down. Then it of course goes up, and then here we go. We can tune, fine adjust. And this is of course needed so you can super align with your spectrum analyzer's IF. Okay, that is interesting. And use external scan mode. I never figured out what this is doing. How do I enable external scan mode? No clue whatsoever, because there isn't any inputs to select that, so I haven't yet figured that out. It's not doing anything at all. But anyway, I think this is all I wanted to show, and this is all I really can show so far. This is just working the way it is. So all we need to go and find a good old Hewlett Packard spectrum analyzer, and there you have it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.